Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Machedo is the best.
Hi there, Machedo. Speaking to you from Machedo.com. Who's Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Okay. I was asked this question by a young man who is actually planning to study in one of the Ivy Leagues in United States. Okay. Ivy League colleges. Obviously, I don't want to give private details. Okay. So he asked me this question, which was, and he also was kind enough to donate to the channel. So this is why I'm making it as a video. He asked me, when is self-confidence a bad thing? And he also asked me, when is self-doubt a good thing? So pretty intelligent question. And thank you. I just want to say thank you for contributing to the channel. I appreciate it. And he wanted this to be a video response so that others could benefit from it. So good, something pretty novel. Okay. I thought about it, and this is my answer. I'll give you a real life incident, real life. This is not making up hypothetical situations. My mother, Helen Pinto, okay, not Machedo. She married because she married. And my father, stepfather, Frederick Pinto. Okay, I'll give you their examples. Now, my mother and my stepfather, they didn't have any special education. They didn't have any special upbringing. They were normal Indians. And they came to UAE in the 80s, and my mother took up a job as an exercise teacher in a health club, which was run by Bukatir. He's a billionaire Arab guy in Sharjah who used to run the cricket matches, India, Pakistan, and they used to have the betting lines. And then eventually it got banned because they had a lot of bribes, and it is another story in itself. Okay, so my mother was working for Bukatir Emitac. The brand was HP, Hewlett Packard. The printers. Those days, I think they were doing computers as well. And my father was working for, stepfather was working for the HP branch, the Emitac. His company name was Emitac. My mother was working in the health club. So both of them were working for Bukatir, his company. Now, the funny thing is, those initial days of UAE in the 80s, you could work 2-3 jobs. And the salaries were very attractive, very, very attractive. In fact, my stepfather got a British salary. Just imagine this. He was a clerk. He was just an ordinary clerk. He was like a receptionist. He had to take phone calls. You had to operate the telex machine. Maybe some of you do not know. There was a machine called a telex machine. There was a, I think data metrics machine. He was a data operator. So he had basic tasks, but he was getting paid very big money in British standards. Just imagine a British salary in British, there in UAE. Okay. So roughly you could say 6,000 to 8,000 dirhams, which is a big thing. My mother, on the other hand, she was not only working as an exercise teacher, and what was the exercise that she used to learn? She used to learn, Jane Fonda you can Google search Jane Fonda workouts, like 1, 2, 3. They used to move their ass up and down, their leg up and down, and hands up and down, and dance. And Jane Fonda's workouts were very popular. My mother used to see that. And, those days, the Arabs, they were simple people. And the Emirati women, the wives of these rich Arab guys, they couldn't go out, and they had a very strict life. So they would call these exercise teachers home to get taught exercise. So my mother used to go there. And obviously my mother taught herself by going to beauty parlors, how to do waxing, how to do makeup. So she used to do all that. And, she used to get paid like a freelancer. Just imagine those days. There was no internet. There was no, Google and all that. And, so whatever cassette tapes and all that she could see, she used to see that and learn from them. Okay. And she used to also work for Expo. Those days, there was an Expo in Sharjah, Expo Center Sharjah, which was not like this global Expo. It was where all these, Sharjah was bigger than Dubai those days. Sharjah was bigger. And she used to actually work in Sharjah, in Expo. And there also she used to there were brands that were selling, nobody knew a concept like Expo existed those days. And they had these pavilions. It was amazing, man. Seriously amazing. The location was where I think Etihad Garden, the Saudi mosque is there in Sharjah. Okay, for old timers, you would know all this. So my father and mother combined, I think they used to make 10,000 dirhams or more than that, much more than that per month. And imagine in the 80s, for an Indian family that came from a village, this was big money, man. This was really big money. And before you know it, because of my mother's enterprising spirit and my stepfather, being given this comfy job, he used to work hard. Let me tell you, he used to work hard. He used to work 7 days a week almost sometimes. So they kind of grew, and the company was it was run by British management. So everything was good. However, later on from the 90s onwards, what happened was, all of a sudden, UAE started to get noticed, and many Indians, especially when you have South Indians or you have Keralites coming down, and when they come back to India and they have a lot of money, so other people, oh, where are you working? What are you doing? Oh, you're working in Dubai. So they used to call it the Gulf craze, the gold rush. So almost everyone decided to come to UAE and make big money. And those days, the early days, whomsoever came to UAE, all of them made very big money. They had very big savings. There was hardly anything to spend in UAE those days. And UAE was going through a massive upswing of a boom. So whoever joined, whether they joined as a sweeper, a cleaner, or clerk, they all climbed into big positions of managers, directors, because they were close to the owner. And during the boom, remember, everyone makes money. So my mother and my stepfather, they also made money. And before you know it, my family was the only family where my mother, I think, owned multiple houses in Mumbai. She had multiple properties, my stepfather, and they became like, people were respecting them for their success. So obviously this got to their head, and they thought they were invincible. They thought they were really great. They thought it is because of their hard work, because of their intelligence, because of their proactivity that they succeeded. What my mother and stepfather did not know is they were just the right people at the right place at the right time. They were just plain fucking lucky. That's it. It's like the stock market when it's booming, and anything you invest in, you'll make money. So my father and mother, they just became so confident because of their past successes. They thought they were untouchable. That is until the mass influx of cheap labor came into UAE. Imagine where my father was getting maybe 6,000 or 8,000 dirhams a month. All of a sudden, they managed to get a replacement for 1,000 dirhams. Just let that sink in. It's hardly, I think, $300 US. So where he was earning like 8 times more or 10 times more, massive salary, they got 1/10 this income. They managed to get people. So obviously my father got laid off. There was a massive restructure of Bukatir's business. And obviously that health club, as more clubs started coming, his business also, he shut it down. So my mother was without a job. She kept doing freelancing where she was making good money. However, that also more competitors came, and, age catches up and people get old, and, then she lost those customers, and that revenue stream died out. Fast forward to the 90s, my father and mother had money of their past success, but now we're facing challenging times. And I remember this one conversation I had with my mother where I was we were disagreeing on some things. And my mother told me this. She said, don't challenge me. She actually told me on my face, don't challenge me. You don't know who I am. my mother told me, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I can do. I started with nothing. I made this, I made that. Like in that movie where what's his name? Forrest Gump actor, yeah. I can't get his name right now. Just can't get his name. Wait, let me tell you Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump. Okay, what's his name? Who's the actor, man? Come on. Tom Hanks. How can I forget, man? Tom Hanks. Come on, Tom Hanks. Okay. Tom Hanks in that movie Castaway, when he's talking about the fire and says, oh, look what I've created. Look what I've created. So in the same way, my mother was more like, look what I did. And fine. I was like, quiet, because my mother believed she could do anything. Sad to say, that overconfidence that she could do anything, that she could conquer anything, that she was absolutely intelligent, smart, proactive. Even my stepfather, they ended up losing all their money, every single penny of it. My stepfather, who thought he was indispensable, after that job, he never got employed ever again in his life. He tried for 15 years of his life to go for interviews, to appear the saying, nothing, absolutely nothing. And they ended up being bankrupt. In fact, they ended up, I think, with not paying almost 1 million. That's as far as I heard. I'm not too sure whether they are right, whether what I heard is right or wrong, but they just left everything and they ran back. How did they reach there is another big story in itself. So what am I trying to tell you here? When you achieve success or when you're successful, you like to take all the credit for it. You'll say, I'm smart. It's this thing, it's my thinking. However, when bad things happen or bad times come, they never blame it's because of me. Oh, it's the market conditions. Oh, it's the COVID. Oh, it's the recession. Oh, it's this person cheated me. They'll never take personal responsibility. I think this is the best example that I can give you for overconfidence or believing in yourself, where belief in yourself can actually be a bad thing. And where self-doubt, if they had self-doubt, they would have had the fear. They would have never thought that they are invincible or indispensable. And that would have kept them humble, and maybe they wouldn't be where they are today. Today, at the age of 60, they've lost everything. Every single thing. Their health, their friends, their money, and they're just living on the mercy of their stepson, my step brother, half brother, who is his son. They're just living on that mercy. I don't support them by any means because they were never close to me. So to the person who asked me, when is overconfidence bad or when is self-doubt good? This is the best example that I can give you. And that is why I always remind myself, listen, you don't think you're too smart. You're just the right guy at the right place at the right time. Yes, intelligence is required. Hard work is required. Strategy is required. Personal branding, there's that, investing in yourself, education. But don't think you're invincible, because when bad times come, I'll tell you, you'll really question yourself. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? And I'd love to hear and read your comments. Having said that, this is me signing off. You guys take care.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Machedo is the best.